Yes, as you see here, I just received some of the material by FedEx a few hours ago.
Deep beneath the waves of the Pacific Ocean, scientists have unearthed the first ever alien objects, adding to the growing list of mysterious recent archaeological and scientific finds that continue to baffle experts. As we delve into these enigmatic discoveries, join us in unraveling artifacts so perplexing that even the brightest minds can't quite explain. Number 1. Alien skulls. Ever played a game of Guess the Artifact? No? Well, let's dive into one now. Picture this. You're strolling around Nazca, a famous archaeological site in Peru. You stumble upon a collection of quirky artifacts that look, well, a bit out of this world. Literally. With elongated heads and slit-like eyes, you might wonder if E.T. decided to leave behind a family portrait. Flipping one over, it feels bone-like with hints of vertebrae. Now here's where it gets super intriguing. An X-ray reveals sinuses and eye sockets. Come on, hoax makers. Who'd think of adding sinuses to a fake artifact? That's some next-level attention to detail. Now, if that isn't enough to tickle your sci-fi bone, there's this peculiar three-fingered hand. But here's the kicker. It's not like any hand we've seen. An X-ray showed 6 bones in each finger, while us humble humans have just 3. Oh, and did I mention it looked like it once had skin before getting a clay makeover? Jumping to conclusions and yelling hoax. Might be easy, but those X-rays sure do make us scratch our heads. So are they ancient alien memorabilia or just artistic expressions? The real question is, would Mulder and Scully be as baffled as we are? Number 2. Discovery of first ever alien objects. Ever been fishing and reeled in a shoe instead of a fish? Imagine fishing in the deep Pacific and reeling in alien objects. Sounds wild, right? Let me serve you up a slice of interstellar pie. So here's the tea. Off the coast of Papua New Guinea, our astrophysicist hero, Avi Loeb, claims he's fished out over 700 otherworldly treasures. Now, before your imagination boards a UFO, we aren't talking about flashy tech or pieces of an alien spaceship. Nope, these 750 items are teensy droplets of iron. Their origin? None other than the meteor, IM-1, that danced across our sky before taking a deep dive into the ocean in 2014. These space beads, ranging from 0.1 mm to 0.7 mm, made quite the entrance. They were spotted by a U.S. spy satellite, crash-landing like intergalactic tourists. Despite documents hinting at this celestial event, it was only in 2019 when Avi and his band of curious students uncovered this space mystery. Using a magnetic sledge, imagine a vacuum but for space goodies, they plucked these marble-like items from their oceanic resting place. Now let's get geeky, but not too geeky. After studying these spherules, that's scientist for space marbles, Avi found some telltale signs of their starry past. They contained VIP guests like lanthanum and uranium, rare elements suggesting they weren't local to our solar system. They also had fewer volatile elements and iron, burnt off by the fiery catwalk they did through our atmosphere. And for the cherry on top, an over-the-top amount of beryllium, hinting at their long space journey. Now, quoting Professor Loeb here, this is the first time ever humans have held materials from a large interstellar object. It's like finding a space note in a bottle. Sure, it might not be a note from E.T., but it's groundbreaking. The Harvard genius even humorously labeled it space trash. But here's where things get spicy. Could it be from alien tech? While the jury's still out on that, one thing's for sure. This ain't from around the block. So, dear listeners, the next time you gaze at the sea, remember, sometimes the most incredible treasures aren't buried. They're floating from the cosmos. How's that for a deep dive? Number 3. Crocodile Stone. Ever wandered through an ancient temple and stumbled upon something so odd, you just can't help but scratch your head? Let's hop on a virtual journey to Champasak, Laos, and get up close with the mysterious Crocodile Stone. Is it a relic from an ancient version of the Mannequin Challenge? Or perhaps Mother Nature's attempt at abstract art? Tucked amid the time-worn ruins of Wat Phu Temple, this puzzling stone got its crocodile nickname. Because, well, squint a little and it kinda sorta looks like a croc. Or a human. Or you get the idea. While the temple's foundations go back to the 12th century, this elusive stone seems to be the granddaddy of the place, likely hanging around since the 5th century, right around the era of the Shenla Empire, who were apparently not too shy about human sacrifices. Yikes. So did this stone double as a sacrificial stage for some eerie performances? Or was it just the ancient world's quirky bird bath? We may never know. But one thing's for sure. There's nothing quite like the Crocodile Stone anywhere in Laos or Cambodia. So, Whatever purpose it served, it must have been a one-of-a-kind gig, a little secret from the past, keeping historians and tourists guessing. Number 4. Oldest micro-abacus. Ever had that awkward moment at the grocery store when you forgot your calculator and mental math wasn't cutting it? Imagine whipping out a ring, a real jewelry ring with a computer built into it. Now, I'm not talking about some futuristic sci-fi tech, but rather a blast from the past. Let's rewind 300 years back, folks. In the era of the Qing dynasty in China, where the latest in tech wearables wasn't a smartwatch, but an abacus ring. Yep, a super tiny abacus, as adorable as a hamster in a sweater that you could literally wear. Standing just half an inch tall, this little wonder performed as good as its full-sized cousin. But here's the hilarious catch. You'd need a needle to poke and prod the beads. Because let's face it, human fingers and minuscule abacus beads aren't exactly a match made in heaven. These on-the-go calculators, known as zhuxuans, were the hotcakes of traders back in the day. Needed to haggle or quote a price on the spot? Boom! Out comes the ring. But here's where the plot thickens. How the heck were these made? Crafting such a tiny marvel surely requires an eye of an eagle, or, well, a microscope. Were they all crafted by one genius inventor? The ancient Steve Jobs of abacus rings? The world might never know, but one thing's for sure, back in the day they certainly knew how to compute in style. Number 5. Ancient theater in Sweden. Ever heard of an island getaway that wasn't all sandy beaches and coconut drinks? How about one that locals would actually warn you to stay far, far away from? Welcome to Sweden's very own mysterious island, Blåjungfrun. Locals whisper that it's not just the waves that crash there, but also curses and witches. Intrigued? Now, while many would just turn around and set sail in the opposite direction, a daring crew of archaeologists decided to dive into the legends head-on. And what did their island adventure dig up? Well, traces of some pretty peculiar gatherings dating back a whopping 9,000 years. And the weirdest part? An ancient, purpose-unknown labyrinth. As if that's not eerie enough, tucked inside the island's craggy caves are an old stone altar, maybe where the witches hung out, and what looks like an ancient stage. Cue the spooky music. Now you might think, a theater during the Stone Age? And to add more pizzazz nearby, they found hammerstones, which, back in the day, might have been used for grinding, possibly as a part of some odd ritual. But let's pump the brakes before we start blaming giants for creating the island's grand Yettergritur caverns, as legends suggest. And here's the showstopper. Despite the island being packed with ancient stone wonders, no one's ever dared to pocket any as souvenirs. Because who in their right mind would want a cursed rock, right? So, next time you're thinking of an island escape, maybe skip the one that comes with a free curse. Number 6. Ancient chessboard. Ever found yourself captivated by the age-old charm of chess? Well, prepare for a historical curveball. Imagine this. You're trekking through the picturesque landscapes of China's Sichuan province when, out of the blue, you spot what looks like a chessboard. But hold up. This isn't just any board. It's potentially a 1200-year-old relic from the Tibetan Tubo era. Now for the chess enthusiasts shaking their heads, because chess is 64 squares, this relic boasts a perplexing 100-square layout. And for a bonus twist, there are side grooves. Was this where ancient gamers popped their pieces while sipping on some traditional tea? The question that begs to be asked. Were the ancient Tibetans pioneering chess champs before it was cool? Did they lounge around, strategizing ancient checkmates on this rock board? Given that this region was like the historical equivalent of a cultural jamboree, pinpointing the exact origins of this proto-chess becomes a delightful mystery. But wait, there's more. This isn't an isolated find. Another similar board surfaced in Meizokungar, Tibet. It seems our ancestors had a penchant for strategic games, painting a picture of lively gatherings under the Tibetan sun. So the next time you're engrossed in a modern chess game, remember, you're part of a legacy that might just stretch back centuries. Who knew chess had such ancient swag? Check and mate. And there you have it, explorers. From the depths of the Pacific, where the first ever alien artifacts lay concealed, to bewildering discoveries that even our modern scientists scratch their heads over. Our world, it seems, never runs out of enigmas. Just when we think we've got it all figured out, another mysterious layer unfolds, reminding us of the wonders and riddles that await our curiosity. If today's journey has taught us anything, it's that history is a vast ocean, and we've only skimmed the surface. So, stay inquisitive, and remember, every artifact has a story, and some of those tales, well, they're out of this world. Until next time, keep exploring and questioning the world around you. Who knows what we'll unearth next?